What's up, everybody? It's your favorite mercenary's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Play Arts Kai's Arkham Origins Deathstroke, and he's gorgeous. I've had this since Christmas. It's just been a little busy around here, so I haven't had time to get to it. But let's set him aside for a moment and look at accessories. So he comes with a slew of hands. This is like a hand for gripping this pole bit of business, and this is not the easiest unit to get in, but once you get it, it's beautiful. And the good news is he has a hand for the other side as well. So just to illustrate that both are possibilities, there it is. Paint, shaded, molded, sculpted, washed. Beautiful. We got red stripes in there, little details like that. They just go so far. All this is airbrushed. Actually, it looks washed. It's washed. All the ribbing texture here. Hear that? Nice stuff. Then we have two of these hands. You can use them for the sword. You can, let's see what else. Well, just various other accessories. We'll talk about it in a second. But they're good to go. And as I get them out, they will. I'll illustrate them. We got a little blemish here in the paint. All these are hand painted, so individual results will vary. But to me, it's okay. It could look like wear and tear on the metal, and I'm good with that. And then we have this gripping hand. I have it on the gun already to show you that it holds the gun with no problem. And then we'll put it on the figure just to re-illustrate that. Single cast. Actually, that might be glued on. Looks like two pieces of plastic. Black plastic and dry brush with a gunmetal. The dry brushing, could have been done in this middle section here. It really hit these rivets here and then down here for whatever reason. That's how they went. But overall, still not bad. The gun design is pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's accurate or not. I'm not the best guy to ask about that kind of stuff. And then he comes with a play art stand, which if you'd like to see how to put one together, I'll put that description in the bottom. So we have these two hands here, which we'll talk about when we go down the figure. We have this gun that fits in that holster. Silver is painted like on the the chamber part, which is nice, and then the trigger is painted. Beautiful. Beautiful done. And it fits right here. Oh, I guess we'll see if this hand wouldn't be the best one for it, but this other trigger hand, let me put that in real quick. Actually, okay, I'm getting carried away. I'm excited. Let's unplug this hand and plug this one in so you see that works. And the trigger finger does go in there well. I don't know why this was working better a minute ago. Okay, and then you can bring that up and across his body. It's not standing in there right now. Maybe I just didn't have it in that sweet spot. So that's pretty cool. Not the best connection, I guess. It was tighter initially. Maybe the plastic got stretched a bit. And then trigger for the pistol. No problem. Gun looks a little small in his hand, actually. But not too crazy. But as you can see, fits just fine. Let's see. What else? This guy holds a ton of stuff, so just trying to see if I didn't miss anything. Okay, so he comes with this sword, which is a work of art in and of itself. Washed on this silver here with a black wash. And maybe it could have used a little bit of dry brushing, but not the worst. And then these red stripes in here, all done beautifully well for the most part. That one line there got a little off, but you can't even see it. You can't even see it on camera, so let alone see it on a shelf. Red stripe here is beautifully done. And his sword holding hand holds it just fine. And then it has this pretty cool sheath to go in. So that's that. Now let's talk about the figure. Head is my big issue. Okay, so as you can see, it's on a double ball peg. Ball joint here that goes into the neck, peg, and then another ball joint. It goes on to a neck, which as you can see is on a hinge almost feels ratcheted down in there, up and down. The problem is that because of the sculpt on the back of the head and the high arch here of the neck, it has a tendency to pop off. So you have to be careful there. The range of motion is extremely limited. Not the best design. But once you get it posed, you know, you won't have an issue. High up looking is going to be a problem. Everything else is fine. Looking at the face itself, I've got a little smudge there, which is unfortunate because it's right in the center of his head. But it is a gunmetal, very glossy, looks nice with a black wash over top, black paint there. Face, all sculpted and whatnot. Let me see if I can zoom in on that eye because it's really well done. There. It's like the flesh is painted inside the mask. There's a reflection spot on the eye. It's just like so good. Then we have this gold part of the face. We got the wash on there. That looks good. We have these two things. They're okay. They're both they're soft plastic. Blue washed, red washed. The mold is crimpled on a ball peg that's hinged, so you can get up and down to pose it. But these always kind of flop down, so I would have liked if you had like one of those like wires in there, so you could have really done something dynamic, because you're fairly limited. You can swivel it out to the side, you know, and that's cool, don't get me wrong. It's just not the best it could be. Back of the head, we got detailing and sculpting with the straps into the head, and then all that is washed. Beautiful. Moving down the figure, now that we got the bad part out of the way. This chest piece here, sculpted, painted, washed, very good, nice. This belt strap here, painted, sculpted, dry brushed. Same kind of detailings down in here for the chest piece, or the abdomen rather. All molded, all sculpted, all dry brushed. Well, the straps are dry brushed, and the metal is washed, and with a very glossy finish that makes it have a very metallic look. Very cool. As far as articulation, you got a ball joint in the upper abdomen, getting you really good range of motion and not a whole lot of gaps. There's a little bit in the back, but you got this cover that kind of distracts you away from it, so you would probably never see it. Only thing that you know, it kind of sucks, but what else are they going to do is, you know, you're going to lose the connection in these straps, so like if you turn it that way, you know, but what are you going to do? They did, however, fix it in one area, which are these straps here on the side. They're connected to this piece that goes around, so as he turns, it stays with it and just changes its location inside the belt, which is a really nice touch. Really thoughtful. I love it. Shoulders. They have a butterfly joint, which gets you out to here, as you can see, and not too bad in the back, actually, you know. And then get you back. Standard ball peg. A standard ball hinge that gets you all the way up to there, and then of course you can turn the shoulder around and get you that angle too. This shoulder piece here is a soft plastic. It does kind of get in the way sometimes, but once again, once you get it posed, it won't be an issue. It's definitely the smarter way to go about it, as opposed to a hard plastic that would have hindered articulation. So, cost of doing business, and they went about it the right way. We got this strap across here holding these shotgun shells. Very nice. He doesn't come with a shotgun, so that kind of hurts, but it's all in all, it's okay. Nice detailing. This metal piece here, dry brushed. All this is sculpted. All of this is washed. I love it. So, as you know, I'm a paint freak. So, bicep swivel right below this strap here, which is not the best, you know, but it's certainly not the worst. It's not the best in terms of where the bicep is, but it's not the worst because it hides the joint really well. Standard issued ball hinge for the elbows, allowing you to, yeah, you can swivel it down at the bottom connection and then it hinges up. Head fell off. That's an issue, as we've discussed. They're on ratcheted hinges. Same for the wrist. Standard issue ball hinge, getting you everything you could want. As far as the detailing, same, washed, painted, beautiful, glossy finish on the metal. Same on the other side. However, I want to talk about this mesh in here. It's like this Kevlar looking mesh or something in there, and that's really nice. Nice. All the little rivets are all sculpted. Like the line work in the detailing there, that's sculpt. That's not, a paint tamp. That's sculpt, which is nice. All right, back of the figure. We have the sheath. I like all the little, nails or whatever like that they've used to nail the two pieces together. They're all painted. It's a nice slick plastic too. Good grief. And we got the grenades. They're sculpted on the belt. This pelvis piece is a soft plastic and it's kind of floating, but everything is still painted, washed, and executed very well. Could have used a little extra detail on the grenades, but that's just me being greedy. Ball hinged hip joints. This one doesn't go as far as easily just because of the extra stuff in the mold, but still, all in all, very effective. Forward and backward, no problem. Limited range, but I don't think you would need a super high range there. Pouches all dry brushed and sculpted, nicely done. Holster looks great. Great detailing choices there with the wash and so forth. It's a softer plastic, so it holds and kind of squeezes the gun, which is nice. Knees are double jointed, and for Play Arts knees, I mean that's almost as good as it can get. So I'm definitely okay with that. Same sort of detailing applies down there. And here we have this softer plastic here to cover up the foot, so if you need to arch it up. It doesn't arch up very far. That bothers some people. It doesn't bother me. I don't need the foot to go much beyond that because anything else isn't really, correct anatomically speaking. So I'm okay with that. You get that far back, which is great, and then you get a toe hinge, which I think is a much better use of a joint rather than being able to bring it to an ungodly level facing up. You can swivel. You got to work it, but you can swivel the ball hinge there to get your rocker, so no issues there. Good to go. Same on the other side. So yeah, I mean, he is almost perfect. Like we always talk about, can you find perfection in a toy? And the answer to this is almost. They just had a hard time getting ahead. Anyway, it's really a beautiful toy. I'll have pictures at the end of him using his various weapons and poses and so forth. Got a little bit of a hard time standing, but that's just because I'm doing it sort of haphazardly. But it's definitely, I mean, I would definitely recommend it. It's a dream type of buy. It's like, this is one of those figures where it's like, I feel like, oh, thigh swivel at the universal joint, by the way, if I didn't mention that. But it's one of those figures where I feel like it's like I feel like I rule the world, like the world is just my oyster. Can you imagine what that would be?
What are you doing?
Making a sandwich.
You better get your ass on the couch and let me make it for you.
Okay.
Bobby.
Yeah.
You want to hear all the things we have to do today?
I guess.
Just relax.
Ooh.
Hey, sweetie.
Hmm?
I'm going to yoga, and I'm thinking about bringing a few friends over for an adult sleepover.
Ooh.
There's some beer in the refrigerator.
The more the merrier.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Left a list of things that you need to do on the counter. Don't forget to mow the grass. I gotta go to work. Bye.
There he is next to Arkham Origins Batman, and really great size next to one another. Deathstroke's a little bit more sleek, Batman's a little bit more bulky, size-wise looks good, overall general silhouette on the money, no complaints. Final thoughts-wise, the really only negative thing I have to offer is the head sculpt versus the neck sculpt, and why that they would have gone that route. It's a smart company that makes smart choices. There's just wise decisions all over this thing. But when it came to the head, you threw out your playbook. It's a real bummer because the rest of the figure is so good. There are, sure, a couple things I would add. I would have added the wireframe work into the bandana. I would have maybe tried to see if I could get a slightly wider range of motion in the hips. But outside of those things, like if the head didn't pop off the figure when you try to get it in a more extreme angle, I don't know. I wouldn't even have, I don't think, one bad thing to say about the figure. That head bit is just, it's really, stands out. It's a really huge deal. You don't want the head popping off all the time. But once you get it posed, it won't be an issue. But I mean, the paint is there, the sculpt is there, the mold is there, the articulation is there 90%. Good use of texture breakup, good use of paint techniques, good use of paint finishes. Some are more of a matte, some are more of a gloss, some are more of an in-between. Some of them have a metallic look, some of them have a flat look. It's just, there's so much good to say about this figure. The likeliness is dead on. It's a must-have for any Batman fan, for any Deathstroke fan, for any Arkham game fan. Do not turn this away. You're only doing yourself a disservice. Definitely recommend it. Great figure from a great company. What more can I say? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.